All right, getting back to this, we are in the process of modifying our fog. I know I can revert by opening my Mandelbulb project back up again, or pulling that keyframe down. So I'm over here on the dynamic fog control area, and I'm looking to correct this fog in a shadow scenario. Here we go. So I'm gonna modify the density of the fog first. Density. Okay, I'm after the density. All right. So we can see here that if I increase the density, I make my problem worse. So I think I was pretty straight on by saying, look, it's a fog density problem. All right, so let's roll that density back. Now, if I go too far back, now my fog is basically creating a blackness. I don't want that. All right, now that's probably about where I was before. All right, and all right, let's just say, like, oops. Let's just say oops. All right, and let's just I'll show you how to recover. So I didn't save anything. All right, I didn't save anything. So let's take this keyframe and we'll pull it back down, and pull it back down and recalculate. All right, so I've effectively recovered because I pulled the parameters back down, and that set my fog back where I was. So that's just a little example of how to recover if you don't like your settings. So let's do this. Let's also experiment with fog offset and far offset. All right. Now, so from a very early session, I won't even try looking it up. It's just way back there. The far offset is it's how far out that fog is. So I'm wondering if I was to push the fog further out, if I would be able to modify that somewhat. Okay, let's try it. Far offset. All right. All right, it has a little bit of an impact. All right, not bad. Okay, so here, now watch in this area right here. All right. So with the far offset all the way to the right, and I don't know what, I can't give you a value. I can't say at position 100 or position, because we don't have any indicators on the control. But anyway, what that tended to do is to brighten up the background, which is not really what I want. All right, I'm going to put the far offset right back to about what, midpoint. I'm going to try the fog offset. All right, now the fog offset is bringing the fog closer to the camera. That's not helping me either, is it? That's not helping me either. So, I mean, I can do all kinds of things here. Well, maybe that's the effect I want, but not really. All right. You see how these controls here have a dramatic effect on my fog situation. Not really helping me any. I've got two other controls here. Let's see whether or not these will actually help me. I'm going to recover my keyframe from my keyframe. All right, back where I started. Now I'm going to try blend dynamic fog. Now that's really a control that basically says make the fog more gradual in its application across the z-axis. Blend it better. It seemed to help, actually. It does seem to help. I'm going to uncheck that. Check it back on. You see how it's really dramatically impacting the foreground. Check it back off again. Only add light. Yeah, okay. Well, I think you get the picture. The idea here is to use your previewing and try to isolate what your issue is, and then focus on a repair of around that issue. And don't get yourself waylaid onto other topics. You don't need to be modifying the Mandelbulb graphic at this time. You need to be focusing on that one particular issue, because if you repair it here, you'll repair it everywhere. Now, I'm not really getting a really good solution here. I'm probably going to have to compromise. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to soften it a little bit here and then run with that. All right, now so bear with me now. So let me get my view back up to 1:1. All right, get back in there. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to just soften it. So I'm going to dial my dynamic fog down just a bit. Oof, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Try my fog offset. Fog. I don't want blackness out there. I don't want that. Let's see if we could. Let's try blending it. No, not helping me any. I really gotta. No, that's just making it worse, isn't it? Well, wait a minute. Let me really dial this thing. Wow. Look at that. It's all muddy. It's muddy. It doesn't look good. You know, to be honest with you, I don't think dynamic fog adjustments is what I want to do. I think this is it's not really helping me any. I can't seem to get rid of that muddiness. All right. I don't want my scene dark like this. You know, but you know what I'm going to do? I am going to revert, get my keyframe back, and I'm going to try a different approach. All right. Well, let's revert. Get my view back here. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at ambient shadowing right here. Now we talked about this in earlier sessions, so I'm just going to get right into actually tweaking it. What I'm going to try to do here is to correct this muddiness using ambient shadows. Let's try it. Okay. Okay. All right, this is similar to what I had. And what I did is I lightened up the ambient shadows now, ambient. And I think that's an improvement. That's an improvement. What I did is I effectively reduced the shadows, ambient shadows, across the whole scene. It's a little bland right here, just like that's right there. Now, I'm going to reduce my, come on, the other way. Boy, almost. Okay, now I'm going to turn my attention to diffuse shadow and see if I can improve it further. Now, diffuse shadow is the shadowing that's impacting colored surfaces. Nah, it's not helping me at all. Put it back to where I had it. Let's try ambient depth. Okay. You see how that's impacting my foreground, which is not a bad thing, but it's not really helping my background. All right. Now I could go a bit further. I could start messing around with the light sources, and there's all kinds of things I could do here. I'm going to go back to dynamic fog, and I'm going to reduce the fog a little bit more. Let's try this one right here. I'm going to try blending. No, that's not helping me any. No, that's making it worse. Okay, so I think what I've got here, I've got my ambient shadows like that. I'm going to say that I have probably gotten this about as good as I'm going to get it, at least for now. When we return in the next session, I'm going to show you how to apply these things to all your keyframes. All right, so I'll see you in the next session.